Good afternoon. How are you? Yeah? Hey. Great to see you all here this afternoon. I take it the weather has put a few of you off going ashore. Listen, apart from the heat, it's like this in Liverpool all year. So yeah, I'm kind of used to it, you know, wet, overcast. There you go. Anyway, great to see you all here. Nice to see you taking the time and the trouble to come and see these guys. I met these guys last year, a wonderful band, one of the brightest hopes in the new progressive movement. They're from a little further down the road than me in England. They're from Birmingham. You probably know I'm from Liverpool, but don't let that put you off. You're going to hear a kind of Storytellers set today. They're going to play some acoustic songs, and we're going to be having a chat. We'll be inviting questions from you. And there'll be a test before you leave, and if you don't get 10 out of 10, you're not leaving. Seriously, just have a think of some questions you want to ask anybody. They'll answer the questions unless it's the numbered Swiss bank account number. I don't think they're keen on letting that out. But there you can ask. Anyway, what I would like you to do is give a very, very warm welcome for IO Earth. Right then, if we can introduce you guys, starting from the left, we have on the left here, Adam, on the right.
Christian.
The drummer, they're always at the back.
Richard.
Two Richards.
Richard.
Christian.
Oh, Christian, as you say. Well, I've been hanging around with music bands like you for too long, I'm deaf.
You've gone deaf.
And you're Dave, yes, Dave Curison. I do know him really. We're very good friends, even if we do insult each other. And over the man blowing into that strange instrument.
Blowing his horn.
Blowing your horn in public again. You'll never get back into America, you know. Anyway, I suppose should we do something?
Luke Shingler, by the way.
All right, Luke. It's just as well you told everyone because he'd forgotten. I guess you guys had better do a song first, then we'll have some chat, yeah? This is a song called Storyteller. I hope you enjoy it.
Appropriate.
He's like looking out the corner of his eyes. What's he going to do now? You'll find out. That was Storyteller, wholly appropriate for this afternoon's performance, because it is a kind of Storytellers performance. They're going to be playing some more music, so don't worry about that. I won't be here that long. You'll be yeah, exactly. Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. First of all, guys, I'm sure a lot of these people here know the sort of beginnings of the band, but I suppose, Dave, you probably best tell us. It's an interesting story. I know the very beginning. Was it long time ago in a galaxy? No, that's not the story. Started in Birmingham, because these guys are from Birmingham, and despite what people might think, in England, there's no big rivalry between cities apart from football teams.
Really?
And as I come from Liverpool, we're football crazy. When I say football, you probably call it soccer over here.
Soccer.
At the moment, the only thing that's annoying me really is the fact that Birmingham are probably doing, well, everybody's doing better than Liverpool, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Villa are in relegation.
Yeah. Well, that's still better than Liverpool. So, Dave, the beginnings of the band. I know you kind of started off as a studio project between you and Adam, didn't it?
Well, Adam and myself have been friends since secondary school and high school, we should say. Thank you.
You weren't in Glee, though, were you?
Actually, when I met Adam, we were actually having a PE lesson, which is like games or sports. And we was in the showers. I said, "Do you want to make a band with me?" And he went, "Okay," which was a bit odd, but never mind. And so we started writing music together at a very early age when we was around about, how old are you? 14 or 15. And one day we sort of decided to make an album which was really huge. But we thought nobody had done it for ages. No one made a double album and all this sort of stuff until we got into Prague and we realised that bands are doing it every week. So we decided to make this double album, which was only going to be a studio project originally. And we got all our the bands to come in and help, which was Christian played bass on the album, on various tracks. Richard played all the drums on the tracks. Unfortunately, Luke was not there. He was still in prison. And he only got out last week. And it wasn't proven, was it? Yeah. So, and then eventually we got a call from a guy called Stephen Lamb, who does a festival in the UK called Summer's End. And they said, "Do you want to come and do this festival?" And we was like, "Okay, we'll do it." Didn't even have a band at that point. And so we called up as many people as we could think of. And that's how the band was born, and that's how it stayed for forever, right? And that's how it became what it is.
Well, the first album had a lot of guests. You may know a guy called Steve Balsamo, who's pretty big in the English music scene. Great vocalist. He's worked with people like John Lord, the late lamented John Lord of Deep Purple fame. He also played Jesus, if I remember correctly, Jesus Christ Superstar in the UK. Great singer. When you decided to form the band, how difficult was it kind of replacing people like Steve? And, or did you have to just adapt?
With our music, I don't know if how many people got the albums, our music is ridiculously overproduced. So it's got so much in there. We've managed to sort of shrink it down into a more manageable, playable, that's a good word. And so Steve wasn't really going to be replaced anyway, because he was only going to do the album, and that was it really. So we had the thought about getting the band, and like I say, obviously Richard was already in, 'cause he's my big brother, and if I've never had him in the band, he'd beat me up. So that wasn't going to work. And
you weren't called Oasis before IO Earth, were you?
I tell you what, you're not far from the truth, man. Jesus. And obviously Christian, I've known Christian for years and years and years. We played in various rubbish bands together, and so we got Christian to play. And then we thought, well, because we had a trumpet player on the album, and we thought, well, it's a bit of a restricted instrument, really. So we thought about Luke bringing the soprano in, and it seemed to, he was cool, isn't it? And it really works really well, really nice. It fits in with the vibe of the band, And then We got Claire in, obviously, who was singing.
Yeah, can we just sort of clarify? We're not going to dwell on this. There's no major, a big secret. I think Claire unfortunately couldn't travel because she's got a problem. She's not too well at the moment, but she's still a member of the band at the moment.
She had it was more of a family emergency, and she was not very well, and everything sort of went a bit. As I explained last night, Tuesday we got the phone call, and she was like, "We can't do it." I was like, "Oh my god!" So we managed to get our Nordic beauty involved in it. Yeah.
So are we going to introduce Linda now?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome all the way from Norway. Should I do it in American?
Well, they probably understand you better if you did.
Please welcome all the way from Norway, Linda Moreno Artisanor.
Linda, lovely to have you here.
Beautiful.
How on earth did you meet with these reprobates?
Well, I got a phone call from them.
Yeah, that's usually how it starts, isn't it? He rang me up.
Yeah.
So, it must have been an incredible, I won't say learning curve, but a bit of a panic learning the set. I mean, how did you feel about it? Did you say yes and then think, oh my goodness, what have I done?
Oh, yeah, a bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's great to have you here. It's lovely that you could fill in at the last moment. We're going to talk about lots of things, but we're going to play another track now, aren't we?
Yeah.
And, do you want to tell us a bit about the song? The song's called Take Me, yeah?
Yeah, this song was on the first album, and it was sung by Steve originally, and we've adapted it to sort of like a stripped down version. We've always done it this way. We've never done it full on before, so tonight we're going to do a really stripped down. It's going to be Adam, the Lord, Luke Shingler, and Linda, of course, and hope you enjoy it.
So this is the first time?
No, we've done it before.
I was going to say,
but not for a while.
I thought you were saying you were a virgin then for a second.
I am.
Oh, right. That's what you told
Of
me.
course I'm a virgin, John, for Christ's sake.
I did.
Well, so anyway, well, this is Iowa, and this is Take Me.
He obviously isn't a virgin.
After the song, does the audience?
guys. I've got something here that Dave wrote out. This doesn't happen very often because the musicians, they like to keep some things in reserve. But Dave said the band have very kindly agreed to expose themselves. Oh, sorry, to questions from you. So, if there's anybody out there with a question, if you put your hand in the air, okay, I'm going to go here because I see this gentleman here first, and I will come and ask you some questions.
If you're a chocolate bar, what's like a chocolate bar are you?
Really? Stick to the script. Good evening, good afternoon, sir. What is your name and who is your question for?
My name is Barry, and the question is for the band, where did the name Io Earth come from?
Okay, did you hear that, Dave? Where did the name Io Earth come from?
Well, originally it was called Infinite Ocean, and we thought that sounded a bit girly. Yeah.
It's very rock, though. It's very progressive.
Yeah, very progressive. This is before we even knew what progressive was. Anyway, we have all these people coming to us and go, hey, do you like Caravan? That's right. 34. Anyway, so Adam said, why don't we just leave the vernut and shun off and keep the I and the O? And the album was originally going to be called Earth, so we just put the two together and that was that.
Okay, Barry, that answer the question? Yeah, cool. Anybody else? Got a question for the
guy waving frantically.
No, he's drowning, isn't he? Oh no, that's just got the backdrop of the ocean there. Oh, you're gonna never. I'm not talking to you now. Okay. Afternoon, sir. What is your name and who's your question for?
My name's Mark, and it's actually for everybody in the group. I hear a ton of different influences in your music, and I'm curious to hear from you who you would say your influences are.
Well, should we do it individually?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
okay.
go on.
So, Mr. Shingler, who is your influences?
It's a bit of everything. It's jazz, rock, soul, reggae. Can you hear it? No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's called a microphone.
My influences are everything from jazz, rock, reggae, soul, funk, anything where I can try and stretch myself on a saxophone. It's an instrument you've got to learn to improvise on. So I think jazz is probably the most important element that I've used to try and develop my playing. And artists, again, it goes back to jazz, John Coltrane, Dexter Gordon. But the player who really got me going on the saxophone was Dick Parry from Pink Floyd, who soloed Money was the best solo that it was.
Thank you, Lou.
Mine is, I like all styles of music from ABBA to Zappa, right? So it doesn't really matter for me, but as a guitarist point of view, I love people like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and Van Halen and all people like that, all these guitarists. So they're a main influence on me. So, and there's like all cool guitarists like Jimmy Page and Slash, I think is really cool. And Brian May, probably the most underrated guitarist in the world. Brian May is just an innovator. And then you got new people like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, who's doing crazy things. Not just copying people, he's just doing exactly what he wants, and it just sounds really cool. So that's me, Richard.
Richard, what are your sort of favourite musicians and bands then?
I suppose influences drummer-wise would be Vinny Colaiuta, who played with Zappa, Sting, all those people. Manu Katché, another great drummer that I like. McBrain out of the mighty Iron Maiden. Music-wise, what I listen to while I was in my car, it can vary. Simon and Garfunkel through to who have I got in there now? Revolver, everything that, like Dave, really. If I like it, then I like it. It doesn't really matter what sort of genre it comes from. So that's pretty much it.
So if we managed to hitch a lift with you, Richard, we'd be taken on a veritable cornucopia.
Yeah.
I only learned that word yesterday, don't laugh.
Sounds like a band. Hi, we're Cornucopia. Thank you. Linda Oddinson from Norway.
Well, yeah, I like...
Io Earth.
Iowa, yeah. A lot of different styles and genres, and I think a great vocalist should be able to do a lot of different things. I like Eva Cassidy as inspiration.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, come on, I think that deserves a round of applause. Eva Cassidy's cool. Anybody else?
And my brother.
Oh yeah, you like Dave. You're the only one in the band who does. Christian, what about you? You need to go to a microphone here. Adam's provided one. You've done this before, haven't you?
Again, I suppose kind of a bit of a copycat, but very, very sort of eclectic, really. Same as the rest of the guys. I don't sort of really immerse myself in prog, shall I say, but there's been a lot of those guys sort of growing up, which I've listened to, a lot of bands like Rush, those kind of things. But really, when I started playing, it was sort of a lot of sort of the English sort of rock bands, bands like Black Sabbath, things like that. Then going to sort of Lynyrd Skynyrd and stuff, and then sort of, I suppose, sort of getting more into sort of teenage years, I sort of start picking up on a bit of jazz and sort of Jaco Pastorius and people like that start coming along. And then I sort of really got into sort of soul, Motown. James Jameson's a big influence on me.
Good call. Great bass player.
And then sort of a lot of singer-songwriter type stuff, really. People like Joni Mitchell, and she always has